Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer, the Silence and the Fury, where today I retrieved my sword. It was nice of the elves to hold on to it for me for such a long time, but I think it's about time that I go and handle it myself. So I don't think I want to bring Gallic up here. I want Gallic to push the Shrine of Cain so that we can regroup and head through the gate after this. So this ought to be something Torox can pull by himself. Yeah, everybody's at full health. Let's go do it. I think that they just took over this gate, and the gate's been plagued, so I'm assuming that the garrison in the gate is probably not very healthy. Oh yeah, they're all completely fresh units just starting to build up. Lightning strike them. Hey, guess what? Good news. I'm not allowed to raise a herdstone here.
We do not fear death.
Guess what? Good news. Wait, no? Do I? Yes. Okay, I was gonna say, don't you tell me I'm not allowed to have the Sword of Cain. Obviously, we claim it. The Sword of Cain will always be drawn to the powerful. You have defeated its most recent owner, and even as their body cools, the sword calls to you. The power of a god, bound within the blade, waiting to be unleashed. So, Cain is the name for the elven god of battle, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm like 97% sure that it's actually just Khorne, the chaos god, you know, the blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne guy, just tricking them because elves are very easy to trick. So really, it only feels right that I have this. Lots and lots of damage, lots of melee attack, 20% ward save, gives me the ability to call down a vortex of huge, terrifying damage that also inflicts the madness of Cain. Makes units rampage immediately. You just drop it on a bunch of archers or something and they all run screaming into battle and get murdered. It's beautiful. Makes the unit bearing it unbreakable. And this is like the weakest state. It will get more and more powerful as we use it in battle over time. You do not have the ability to move back away from the gate, really. Well, a little bit. Boy, do I think Gallic could even take the Shrine of Cain? He is maybe looking a little soft. Should I just hit the momentum reset and have Torox run over there and grab the shrine? You know what? I think I will. Charge. 4 murders. Okay, we are not close to the blue reset yet. Okay, this is how we will handle this. Hold on. Encircle it. Can I get over here if I do an... Oh, no, sorry. I was going to say an underway move should be able to get us there, right? But, right, I forgot. Ulthuan. Okay, never mind. Just burn it. Lost 11. In case it was not clear to you, who is the most powerful here? Alright, so we're going to take one turn to replenish, and then I do believe that it's time for that quest battle. I feel like with the Sword of Cain, we really ought to be able to push through that pretty easily. I'm going to have Galak push over toward the gate, and we'll just keep replenishing over here. It does take him a while, huh? He does not have nearly the same rate of casualty replenishment. So what do we have over here?
Unthinkable.
We have another one of these armies that's just like exclusively garbage units. And another one on top of that. I wonder what is going on with the Dark Elves that they're fielding armies like this. I wonder if... Oh, you know what it is? I wonder if the deal is they have not built any fancy recruitment structures in their forward settlements because they had all the infrastructure stuff set up back home. And then the Chaos Warriors showed up and burned all of that stuff. So they still have money. They still have lots of land and stuff, but they lost all of their advanced troops infrastructure, so every time we kill one of their good armies, the only thing they can do is replace it with tier 1 troops. Because they have had kind of a rough go of things. Alright, I think I'm going to have one of these armies push forward alone, and the other one maybe fall back to get ready to receive Phasa. So who do I think is more powerful? Let's have Khazrak push up. I think Khazrak should be able to do this by himself. Actually, hold on a second, though. I am being a little silly. there's no reason for Kazrak to attack before we potentially assault these units. There we go. Why not take just like the little extra bit of ease, right? Yeah, with Kazrak and all of his Bestigors and stuff, like, he should be able to push through these really basic elf infantry armies very easily. And he's a little bit less vulnerable to the powerful elf units. Like, if your army is largely reliant on large troops, it can be tough to fight advanced elf armies because it's sort of incidentally the case that a lot of their best infantry units have like halberds and polearms. So like Morgur's army is much worse suited to dealing with them. But Kazrak, just like a lot of goat men with axes, can probably handle it. He can figure it out. So speaking of beast men, we really want to fill up your army with... Oh, did I? Okay, that's right. He was in encampment mode, but he got pulled out of encampment mode by the ambush, so the stuff he was building didn't finish. Well, that's awkward. All right, what's my move here? I guess what we should do is push north and finish off whatever the Chaos Warriors didn't finish off up in this area, and then head south and reclaim Hexawaddle and stuff. Because we can close this out. Almost everything here is gone already. So let's go get Hotek's column. Is Akbar needed for this? We won't lose any actual units. I'm inclined to do this without him. And then just take a slightly slower regeneration path here. Because I kind of want his army to go over here and deal with the smaller settlement. Although, honestly, looking at the size of them, are they going to be able to do that? His units are actually really bashed up. Yeah, that'll actually be a defeat. Well, let's go Totem of Rust and armor-piercing weapon damage up on one of the Harpy units as well. And then, just hold on. Hold on a second here. We do have some slots available. Let's pull in some ogres to ease things a little bit. Nope, still a defeat. Okay. I guess you're gonna have to wait for Malagor to come help you, or you're gonna have to wait for some of those siege towers to actually finish. I was really expecting him to be able to handle his deal there. Right, is there an army waiting for us at the Twisted Glade? There is not. I'm going to have Malagor just push over there and get ready to take that. New guy can figure this out, I'm sure. So while we're sieging, we don't get to work on building stuff, and we don't get any replenishment. And man, Ak is just being an annoyance, although he's not doing a very good job of it, sadly. I suppose, except in the sense that he's annoying me very effectively. So Kazrak's got 15 skill points left. Are any of my units gold ranking? Okay, the Bestigors are getting up there. So we should probably go ahead and grab Unrelenting Savagery. 15% physical resistance, 5 attack, 5 defense. Seems pretty good. And also, just so many skill points. Always so very many. Yeah, I mean... Get on your chariot. You know how we feel about chariots in this army. Yeah, okay. I think we're good. So we actually have to actually finish those Minotaur buildings, and then we should have enough dread to buy up some Minotaur capacity, and We should have no problem turning that last army into a real army. Oh, they resettled the gates, the fools. That's going to work out so poorly for them. Oh, wow. Surprised to see the Dark Elves turn around. I thought they were gonna push up there and punish the High Elves for their hubris. But apparently it's me. I'm the one who gets to suffer for my hubris. Y'all are fast. Like, that's very, very fast. Does seem like all of them are just sort of like walking back and forth, though, not really getting anywhere or accomplishing anything ever. Maybe that's why they keep losing all of their wars. So I am noticing that the most powerful factions in the world are no longer measuring as being that much more powerful than we are. I guess that 6th Army was what did it. Beastly Inclination. I love it when all of my units get a combat strength boost right before we go into a big fight. Recruitment costs down for Minotaur units. Our units don't have recruitment costs. This is probably an event from the old way the Beastmen used to work that they just forgot to strip out. So, Galac's army is not in great shape.
Unthinkable.
Altharian's army is weakened by the resettle, but also, it's a lot of really elite units. These Swordmasters are not a joke. Do I maybe want to delay? Yeah, we can delay the quest battle. This is, I think, too great an opportunity. Let us run forth and consume. Plus, you know the sword wants to get in on this. So I can't quite make it. Let's make sure Galac's close enough. I guess I could have just looked at the reinforcement screen there to see. Because he may well already have been close enough. But yeah, this army at half strength would probably not have survived Galac alone. It certainly won't survive this. No one is allowed to have a Phoenix Gate. Phoenix Gate is done with. It is over. Speaker of Darkling Council. That's a pretty small... it is a magic boost, but it's a pretty small magic boost. Oh, let's finish off Devolve. Yeah, Devolve is awesome. So Galac really can't... Well, he can't get very far forward... Torox, rather, can't get very far forward at all. Like, it's remarkable how forward he cannot get. I want to make sure that we take over the mouth of the pass, though. Let's go ahead and stealth right here. And then we'll see... Next turn. We'll see if it looks like it makes sense to launch into the climactic battle for the fate of man. And is that all of the Bloodgrounds here? Nope. Torsawar still needs... Sarwar still needs to get picked up. We need to worry about Tor Koruali as well. That's right. I forgot the Bretonians were like a thing. Torfinu has to get... man. There's so many damn elves. Let's try to make there be fewer. Trying to limit their vision just a tiny little bit. So is it better for me to push Kazrak up this side and potentially flank them? I guess that kind of depends on how this thing goes with Morgur. Gosh, I do love the Plague of the Crow. So Satilla's army is 100% free. They're tired from forced marching. Like, Let's go chomp, and then probably just, you know, we do still need more bestial rage. Yeah, I probably just want to take the replenishment. So now that we've blunted that, Malekith's army is real, right? We could run over there and jump them. We're still in pretty good shape. They marched, so they're tired. And we might get an ambush. In our normal stance, sometimes we ambush when we attack.
Weakling.
And his army's better than usual. It's better than a lot of the Dark Elf armies we've been facing, but it's not like good. I guess a thing we would have to be wary of course, is that his army is not, is right at the edge of our movement range. So we wouldn't necessarily be able to run away or stealth afterward. Malice Darkblade is right there, and we don't exactly know what's in his army. And I don't know if I want to fight one-on-one Malekith and then Malice Darkblade right after on the same turn, which is absolutely what would happen. I am, though, just going to push forward with Khazrak. I don't know where the rest of their armies on this side went, but we're going to take advantage of them being gone.
Our blood for Cain.
And then just creep forward a little bit. If we can keep them just running back and forth playing this weird little defensive game, that's also fine. Because now probably at least one of those armies is thinking about going back to the Eagle Gate to play defense, right? I would certainly be thinking about it. Spread some corruption. Why not? Slowly but surely, we are corrupting this entire elf land. What's going on up here? Nothing really. I wonder if we have, if we've just broken them in this area. If they're having to focus their armies too much on other problems. I should probably queue up like a couple of siege towers. Here, we'll queue up a bunch of siege stuff. Clark Errand is going to have to consider coming out to fight us in the field. And even though that army is a little on the weak side, I don't think they lose an open field battle. Let's get Bloodlust for this guy as well. All right, Dark Elves, let's see what you got. Looks like the High Elves basically have no military left. Those two little stumps of armies over there must be the entirety of it. Oh, you know what? I should figure out where I want to lay down. I know I was thinking about laying down a stone in Tor Ilir. Oh no, Da was successfully assassinated. Fortunately, it's just a wound. He was not actually killed. It is still a little annoying. I was using that information. And I think when we do our quest battle, I think teleporting over to the quest battle and back does consume all of our movement for the turn. So we will not be able to. Well, I was going to say we will not be able to roll forward, but actually, if I hit the momentum button, we may still be able to move in. So maybe it won't even slow down the rampage. I guess let's find out. This is not a turn where I need to move forward. And we are all full and ready. So let's do it. Trying to tempt me in with 7,500 favor, like that's gonna matter at all. Battle result, Pyrrhic victory. Casualties, low. I don't know if the game understands how Pyrrhic is generally used in a military context. But okay, Luen Leoncoeur and Emperor Karl Franz, together, the two of them stand absolutely no chance. A grand alliance of the Empire and Bretonnia has mustered. It is a desperate act, the dying throes of a race close to extinction. Yet a cornered beast is at times the most dangerous. Bretonian cavalry are working in concert with the Empire's artillery and ranked infantry. Caution is advised, for we must strike at the right moment, or be undone by this most disciplined of hosts. So it is worth noting, a lot of these cavalry have lances. They are anti-large cavalry, and so they will be good at fighting the Minotaurs, to some extent. Of course, the Minotaurs with great weapons are also good at fighting them. So we just have to apply ourselves intelligently, is all. So okay, they have the high ground. They get to start, and they do have siege weapons. Field trebuchets for you, and okay, you didn't bring any of your artillery, which seems like extreme foolishness. So what is the range on this thing? Okay, it doesn't actually reach us. And then we also have a backup friend group of additional bestigors and whatnot. There must be more enemies coming, because otherwise this just doesn't really seem that hard. Certainly for a climactic battle, I mean. So here's the question. Do we just Minotaurs up right here and break them down? Like, Luen Leoncoeur is certainly a good fighter. They have their Grail Knights and whatnot. But I wonder if we could just push right into them? The Empire over here is on, like, so bad spearmen. They got a couple units of, they got a single unit of rifles, some bows and stuff. I don't know how they think they're going to be able to do this. They do have superior positioning. I'll give them that. Okay, so this is what I was thinking was, I don't really want to make the first move. I want to let our allies start to do stuff first. Here, let's push up this way. Not directly into the trebuchets. Because we can divert across the hillside very quickly. Alright, fire from the other trebuchet is coming in. And our abilities here... Oh, wait, right, I forgot. Vile Entropy. So this dramatically lowers the range of a unit for 20 seconds, and it greatly depletes its ammunition. I'm just going to drop that right there. How great is the depletion, I wonder? Okay, okay, that's pretty significant. So it looks like the enemy is just... All right, we're pivoting. The enemy is pushing themselves out of position to meet up with our allies, and so we shall punish. I want the archers to maybe stay downhill a little bit, just so as not to get completely charged out by these assholes. Torox, obviously, just run right into the middle of everything. And you know what? When our dude gets over here, we're gonna summon some Cygors. Manticore could maybe not go so far up the hill. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say there has to be more stuff than this, because otherwise this battle's gonna be really easy. All right, Manticore's going up the hill. Let's get our Cygors up. So it kind of depends on how they charge. I don't know what these horses are doing. Are they going to try to go around there? We may want the Manticore to land on this trebuchet crew. I guess as things stand right now... Wait, where'd the other trebuchet crew go? They just vanish? Get up here and figure that out. Why are they not visible to me? Additional Cygors. My units are running so much further up the hill than I told them to. It's like, actually, it's wild. Because, like, obviously, charging right into the back of our enemies here is so powerful. We're going to break them in, like, no time. And then we can deal with the other guys afterward. Let's get you lot sort of formed up right here. The other beastmen will give us some good cover. Do I want to try to throw up the hill to disrupt that trebuchet crew? No, I probably want to just run at them with like a single unit of minotaurs or something, right? And then yeah, I think we're gonna give some actual targets here just so that our units stay a little bit focused, because it seems like we're not focusing very well. So Knights of the Realm have already hit the charge. Like these guys are moving as though they planned to go fight the Empire, which is like very much not what I told them to do. Do I want to just turn the Gorgons around and start punching demigryphs? Maybe? No, I want them to chase me over here. Everybody commit really hard. Maximum commitment all of the time. That was a pretty good throw. I have so many damn abilities at this point. There it is, the explosion. That's what I was looking for. Moving a little bit more. Yep, horse is getting absolutely crushed. What is this? Okay. Y'all, don't just stand there and watch your teammates get munched on. Manticore, go in there and help them out. Okay, so yeah, some of the units of Minotaurs did not do the thing they were told. Hey, big surprise, Minotaurs being obstinate. Let's have a unit of Empire Knights has descended on the wizard. Well, I don't think this is a big problem, honestly. So this will just cause them some damage. Y'all, just punch some Empire Knights for a minute here. All right. Can't use ability and spell at the same time. Get out of there. Yeah, the Knights are losing really badly. So this, I didn't actually finish dealing with the Minotaur problem. It's really remarkable how quickly our Minotaurs are taking damage here, considering how little damage we've ever taken from fighting enemy cavalry in the past. But you know, these are Bretonnian well, no, these are Empire cavalry. But Bretonnian cavalry are supposed to be like the best. I think we broke up these guys pretty well. A lot of us can just move out, I think. Yeah, they're submerged in Minotaurs. That's happening. Okay, so what I'm going to have happen here is you guys finish that off. You kill archers. All of the Gorgons turn around. Minotaurs turning around. We got to deal with these guys hitting the flank. And you lot probably ought to be command grouped. Okay, so now that we have a safe side, we can sort of push our more vulnerable units up through that side. Actually, I'm going to have you just run straight up the hill. And I think we might be getting on time to use that Sword of Cain ability. All right, that's some good initial charges here. All right, huge reduction in ammunition, pretty good. And we're going right into combat with their lord directly. These Minotaurs can fall back. You lot did your jobs admirably. One thing I really need is for my wizard to actually get over here behind... Wow, the enemy lord's dead already. Really? I guess I killed Karl Franz in 3 seconds. I was just about to come back over here and start hitting abilities again. But apparently... Okay, well, killing the enemy lord right in front of them obviously has some pretty serious effects on their morale. They got some Hippogriff Pegasus nonsense going on over here, so we definitely need to form up around that. Why don't you guys get ready to receive that charge? Over here, we have thoroughly broken all of our enemies. I'm going to have some of these Minotaurs move around into like a flanking position. And let's start devolving large portions of the enemy line. Oh, they have got the rocket batteries in position now. Gorgon's over here, probably a good idea. Go pick off some enemy ranged. Is it time to start running Minotaurs across the long battlefield to fight the enemy artillery? They did leave back some units of swordsmen and some great swords. That's a shame. So this is not a thing I can do with like a single unit of angry Minotaurs. And a lot of my units of Minotaurs are remarkably damaged already, so it's... yeah. That's a tricky one. Well, go break them. God, there are so many additional units of cavalry that spawned out of the backfield. We have to like completely redesign our plan here. Breaking their lord really, really fast does help, though. Their morale is going to be completely shot. And actually, the other king is almost dead as well. Actually, that gives me an idea. If we can just tap him with a little bit of arrow fire, I bet he comes right out of the sky. Let's have our wizard come over here as well. I think we're going to leave some of our big units over here to just finish mashing up the enemies. But I think a lot of us are going to fall back and meet this cavalry charge. Gorgon managed to get deep into the enemy range somehow, and they just let that happen. Right, the Chimera we don't actually have full control over, because Chimeras, you know, who can trust them? All right, I do think we're going to lose some Minotaurs here, probably. Give me another Cygor up here on the hill. Look at this cowardice, taking all their flying units up into the sky. And they are, in fact, just running their lord away from the combat. They decided, you know what? Maybe I was wrong to come back. Okay, now that this thing's come off cooldown, let's go ahead and do that. Let's just see if we can't afflict. There we go. All 3 of the rocket units with a reduction in ammunition. I will say it's a real bummer that they have multiple lines of archers and stuff up here, because it's making it a little bit annoying to actually clear them out. I just got to make sure that we have units actually assigned to all of them. I probably don't want my Manticore fighting those things. The Manticore can just fight this. I'm sure those Outriders are faster than my Minotaurs, but If we just have them running away, that's good enough for me. Alright, so I don't really want to have him blow up yet. He's not surrounded by enemies enough. Okay, a bunch of the Bretonnians... yep, there we go. The Bretonnian king is dead, and a bunch of the Bretonnian units immediately, permanently broke. So we have this group of knights who was a little bit too greedy for their own good. You know, they thought they had a line there on a unit of archers that was not really protecting themselves very well. I get why they got greedy, but it's definitely greedy. Yep, and my units just keep stopping just like in the open near the thing I told them to target. Torox cares not for your missiles. This lone Minotaur with a shield cares not for your missiles. He probably should. He should be somewhere else. You might wanna get out of here, buddy. 42 seconds left on the sword ability. You can do the terrifying vortex from the sword multiple times per battle. But the problem with it is that the cooldown on it only ticks down when you're actively engaged in melee combat. So Torox hasn't actually gotten that much recovery time because everything he gets into combat with dies immediately. So he's spending a huge percentage of his time just running from target to target. He only got 29 kills there, but one of them was Karl Franz, the Emperor. So I'm not gonna give him too much crap about it. And I think we managed to keep that one Minotaur unit alive, which is nice because I don't want to have to train up a new Minotaur unit from scratch at this point. We could have taken another 2 or 3 armies, I think. Torox alone could have taken another, like... Honestly, Torox alone probably could have taken another 2 or 3 armies. And if they were all focused on him, that would mean he's actually in combat enough to use his sword to its fullest. I gotta say, for like the amount of effort and time we put into this army, for it to only have 600 bodies in it is pretty tiny for an endgame force. It's just very focused. So that was one of our objectives there. We are well past our ruination level thing, and we have most of our settlements down. I guess, yeah, take the replenishment, probably. We actually do need that this time. Okay, that pushed us through Savage Rampage. That's neat. Oh, I forgot to fire the Rampage bonuses. Turns out we didn't need them. Mankind has fallen. Their civilization has been crushed, stampeded under hoof and shattered. The gods will be pleased, for their children have done well. But what now for the cloven ones? There is still much to do. While mankind's sovereigns have been slaughtered and their champions' corpses tossed on a raging pyre, the remnants of this pitiful race still live. It is decreed, all traces of man and his limp allies should be despoiled. Take the blood-spattered banner of the fallen kings and finish the cull. So it makes a unit fine. It's not even that good. I do think that this is maybe a little bit... It used to be the case that you won that and it ended the campaign. Was how the old rules worked. And I think they should go back to that, probably. Like, probably you shouldn't unlock the Fall of Man battle until after all of this stuff is done. Because now, like, all this stuff, everything we do after that's going to feel pretty anticlimactic, I think. So I'm not going to attempt to press it further forward with Torox. I want him to heal up. Can we... None of this stuff affects my replenishment rate or anything. I guess let's turn it into a horrific onslaught. Reduce the cost of running around. We could get a solar eclipse. Should definitely tell you in the text what that does. Yeah, I don't remember. I guess probably the smart thing to do would be to just take Stampede of the Chosen. You know, we've been mashing that momentum button more often. I know there are more settlements over here. Are these still held by the elves? Okay, Blacklight Tower still exists. Harganeth is burned, though. Okay. This is confirmation, by the way. These things are left behind by Chaos Warriors. So that it has been the Chaos Warriors doing this. I wonder what made them stop and peel off before finishing the job. Does make me a little nervous. Okay, so now I would get a victory. It'll be a bad victory. But I think I'm actually just going to take it. Because we're going to replace most of the units from that army anyway. Oh, hey. More ogre mercenaries have arrived. Sadly, we cannot recruit our minotaurs because now we have to sit here and wait for all this stuff to complete. Let's go ahead and get you the rest of the buildings, I suppose. Actually, you're all good. Oh, yeah, you don't have one of these. There we go. Just a couple of things will complete next turn, and then we'll be able to do the actual recruiting for this army. I guess for right now, we may as well bring in some archers, because we're gonna want to have archers, I'm sure, no matter what we do. But aside from that, I'm not even gonna bother, I think. Well, I guess there's no sense. What if some army came out of the darkness or something? There's no sense in not filling up. Alright, and your wizard is already a master of everything he surveys. I probably should have set a stone somewhere for the purpose of keeping this stuff uninhabitable. We can do it at the monoliths, right? Yeah, a stone at the monoliths will keep this whole eastern area from being resettled. Okay, so level 32. Definitely want Bellows of the Discordant. We're not going to be able to get Apocalyptic Visions, I don't think. Right, because it'll be 1, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we would need 10 more skill points. So we probably won't bother with redline stuff at all then. What? When I tell you to go, just go. Sometimes it feels like my commanders are arguing with me. Okay, did we... I'm way over here. Hold on. No, we have not moved these armies this turn. Well, the Dark Elves fell back, but they didn't fall back to Eaglegate, which is what I thought they were going to do. Which means it's probably safe to just hit Tor Anrock. They took out my scout, so I can't know. But I can certainly just run up to Tor Anrock and see. And then run away if it looks unsafe. Do I think that Malice Darkblade can reach us?
Futile.
Yes, I do. No. As can Malekith. Okay, that's risky. But... we can just hit this and run away and hide, right? All we have to do is maintain stealth. Oh, and you know what? It's showing me their movement range in March mode because their armies are currently in March mode, but you can't attack stuff in March mode. Without March on, their movement range probably ends like over here. So we weren't in any danger anyway. It turns out I can be a huge jerk with basically total impunity. Yeah, as soon as we have control of at least one of the gates over here, this bifurcation all of a sudden is not a big deal. And Torox is going to need like 2 turns probably to be back at full strength. Wow, they really are stacking up an awful lot of elves in that one city. So we have here, like, the Dark Elves and High Elves are having their climactic standoff. And we're just kind of nearby, waiting for one of them to commit so that we can eat them both. Is she gonna ride for the gate? She is. Well, I wouldn't do that. That doesn't seem very smart. If we auto-resolve, I'm gonna lose my Minotaurs. Alright, let us manually resolve this. Lightning striking is not a good idea. Yeah, let us manually resolve this and just keep that unit of Minotaurs out of the fight. This should be very easy. We shouldn't have any problems with this at all. But we're gonna have to reserve those guys. So yeah, it must be the case, because like, if they could recruit good troops, even if the problem was like they don't have enough money to run multiple strong armies, Marathi would have a real army. She's their legendary lord. So we must have the various forces of chaos arrayed must have just burned down all of their infrastructure, and they did not have a plan B. Which, I mean, that sounds like elves to me. So you and probably this one, and honestly, you lot as well. Okay. We do not need all of our forces to take this down. So I think the deal is we just put like some of the Minotaurs on one side and some of the Minotaurs on the other side, and we crush them, right? Doesn't have to be too much more complicated than that. And of course we have spells, we have terrifying Gorgons. They are all anti-large troops, but that's not going to save them. We just come tearing down the hillside. Oh, right. And also I have archers. The archers should definitely be up the hill. Okay. So, pick your targets, friends. Now, Marathi herself is a pretty good fighter. That is a real thing we have to care about. But my suspicion is if we can get her to land her stupid flying horse, Torox will kill her in like 2 seconds. Based on what we have seen so far. All right, everybody do a lot of charging. You lot just move forward some until the enemies are in range, and yeah, just shoot. Just fire many arrows. Oh please, just come down right here. Okay, well that's the end of that. So, let's fire off. Yeah, we'll just put the tornado down over here. You can create me another Cygor, and let's let that fire off, and then we'll press a bunch of other buttons here. Holy shit, Torox! She's trying to get away. Don't let her get away. All of you, attack that guy. Okay, well that was very silly. We've defeated their whole army already. He killed her in like 3 or 4 hits, right? That was beyond my expectations. So this purple thing they're doing is a thing that when enough bodies have hit the ground in a dark elf battle, they get their murderous rampage. They all get a stat boost. So in theory, at the moment, They are more dangerous than they have ever been, but like, for real, who cares? Yeah, can you please get a devolve off? Can you please run over here and punch someone? Your job, nope, not your job. Where's my other caster? Your job should probably also be devolve based. And you lot try to retreat. Try to back off. We got 3 seconds off of the cooldown timer on the Sword of Cain. A great deal of chopping is occurring. Yeah, Torox was pretty wildly overpowered before we got the Sword of Cain. Things have only gotten much, much worse for all of our enemies. And hooray, my Minotaurs live. 9 of us died. And I know it says 1,200 of them, but you know, in actuality, we consume the whole army before it can escape. So 9 for 2,200 feels like a pretty fair trade to me. Torox was in melee combat with like infantry soldiers for all of 4 seconds at the end of the battle, and he killed 173 people. Sorry, 172, because the first kill, of course, was Morathi. She couldn't even get her flying horse back into the air fast enough to get away. It is possible that a fully leveled Torox is maybe a tiny bit overpowered. So the bad news there, of course, is that there is still Dark Elf turn remaining, so they might have other armies they could run up, but I think the Cult of Pleasure is definitely after the High Elves. I think it's after Nagarond as well. It's after the other big Dark Elf faction. So probably there will not really be people in position to take advantage of my army being revealed. Yeah, Cult of Pleasure is after Malekith. The ambushes just keep working. In fact, I believe that, more or less, that ambush has worked on Morathi before. Not just before, but recently. She is not good at her job. I do wonder why they decided that the Fall of Man should be a thing you can trigger significantly before the campaign is over. It's a very strange choice. Who knows? Maybe it'll turn out that there's going to be like an even more climactic battle once we accomplish all these objectives. Probably not. My guess would be probably not, but maybe in internal testing they just found that people didn't hit the top ruination level quite that quickly, and not like, oh my gosh, I'm playing so much better than everybody else, but like maybe people won a lot more battles in the early game, and so this checked off before people were hitting 500. So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to just come over here and crush the High Elves. We're in pretty good shape, because like if we take out the High Elves, then I can just worry about one direction really. Which does make our lives a lot easier in terms of just knowing where not to stand. The other thing we could do is stand perfectly still, just take a replenishment turn, and hope that the elves tear each other apart instead of running at me, which is what they're more likely to do. I'm gonna let them run into the ambush again, I guess. Ak, you can. Let's just try to remove things from the map here, because I want as few chances for units to see through my stealth as possible. Should Ak be? Yeah, I guess we can be harassing people. Ak still badly needs to hit level 20. Also, he's very chatty. He's going to remain a map action hero, right? None of this stuff is actually good for that. Well... I guess just be an instrument of chaos. That way, if whatever kind of army we might fold him into, he'll be good at the job. Okay, so... we're going to move you toward the Circle of Destruction, because you are soon to claim the Circle of Destruction. Got our apocalyptic visions already. Yeah, I guess just start working on the yellow line. Okay. So do I want to wait on the real recruitment until we have the next level on the Minotaur building? Because right now we can't get the shields or the great weapons. Yeah, it's going to be 2 more turns. That's probably fine. Just go ahead and upgrade that. We'll probably want to pull these 2 back together for Heggrave. Actually, no, never mind. Heggrave is not upgraded at all. Technically, the Temple of Cain is the capital of Nagaron right now. It's just an open-air settlement with only 7 units in its garrison. It's almost like they don't even care whether I destroy it. All right, is that everything? That doesn't feel like... So we did all you guys... Oh, no, these units. Unfortunately, the game does not tell you that you have armies that could use orders if those armies are in encampment stance. So Eagle Gate's a little tougher. Here, let's go grab Toraleer. This should be a pretty easy pickup. And I think this is where we reunite these 2 armies. Somehow got ourselves even more armor of even more destiny. You know, there's a lot of destinies out there. Okay, is anything in this army gold rank? Yeah, some of our troops are gold ranking a little bit. It's probably worth picking up Mage Hunter. The Raiders are getting close. And then nothing you take matters at all. Okay. I may as well upgrade the buildings that we have up in everything. This really is the only structure this army wants. Oh, I think all that noise is the lightning coming out of the vortex. I was like, is somebody playing the loudest game of paintball ever over there, or what's happening? So I think, yeah, we will not take the Eagle Gate this turn. We'll just sit Kazrak right outside of it, and then we'll hit it from both sides next turn and take it over trivially. All right, let's see how the elves respond to this. Oh, are the high elves making their move? That's a pretty good dragon. Are they going to keep pushing? I do appreciate that we've screwed the area so much with our crow plagues and our chaos corruption that, like, it's deeply unpleasant for any type of elf to be here at all. All of those armies are suffering terribly. Etain embarrassed themselves really badly, which is great news for us. And then the Dark Elves took their turn, embarrassing themselves really badly. So yeah, it looks like we put just enough pressure on them from the south for them to feel like they had to fall back. And so, Torox is going to get to just consume the remnants of both of them, completely trivially. Now we've done it. I think we might actually be the strongest force in the world based on these bars at this point. Ah, there we go. There's some proper Chaos Warriors. Hey, friends. You are still around. That's kind of more baffling. Like, I'm more confused than I was before, though, because I assumed that the reason the Dark Elf stuff was still around was because the Chaos Warriors had mysteriously decided to leave before. But if they're still around, why are they just letting things stand? What on earth is happening? All right, you ready to go? Let's do it. Let's go smash some things. Let's go break the elves' toys.
Death holds no fear.
Alright, Torox has done a really excellent job shepherding Gallic Goreclaw's army. Alright, is that everything? Nope. Evershale. Torfinu also needs to go down. It's a tiny, tiny settlement. We'll probably just have Gallic go that way. So do you have everything that is relevant? Yeah, pretty much. Well, something tells me we'll be filling up that rampage bar again.
Beneath me.
So in March mode, Malice Darkblade could make it all the way over here. I am going to burn Evershale, I think. So with the stone in Tor Elir, make the island uninhabitable up to here. Tor a chair. Okay, so there's just a little bit, a tiny little bit of space on the outside of the island that's not covered yet. That's not a big deal. Let's spend some momentum. May as well knock this out real quick. Hooray, we did it. You know, this is actually a pretty good time for it. Let's lower the cost to increase the capacity for Minotaurs. That other army is going to have so many Minotaurs. And then I'm going to stand right next to the ruins in ambush mode and see if we can't capture some more Dark Elves. You just run over here because you're too tired from killing that guy to do anything else. I imagine it takes a lot out of you. These Dark Elves may not even have to worry about us because I think there are some Chaos Warriors on the way to them. Okay, so we need to... I do need to knock down one more settlement in this area just to get enough marks to actually fire that. Which I was not really thinking about. Well, hopefully the Dark Elves will leave that other thing to me. So what do we still want to do with Malagor? I mean, Fueled by Blood is pretty good. We could take some Redline stuff. Like, obviously his army is... So it got a lot of harpies in it. You know what? I'm gonna take the harpy buffing skill. Your harpies can never be strong enough. No, seriously. No matter how many resources you put into them, they will never be good. All right, Akbar. Almost level 20 yourself. I mean, there almost have to be a bunch of dark elves that had grave or something, right? In order for Rune Smasher not to have burned it to the ground. I can't imagine what else would have stopped him. And I think even with Malekith and Malice coming at us here, we definitely still do this. Want Kazrak close enough, and then if we get attacked in the aftermath, we are still showing up as reinforcements. Do I want Bestial Rage, actually? Maybe I do, because Morgar's Bestial Rage has not been in the top tier. Alright, I can't actually be stealthy, but what I can do is hide inside of the ambush radius of this other army that is stealthy, and they'll handle it. So at this point, are we yellow lining? Yeah, I guess so. I think we have what we need from the other places. And as always, so many skill points. So many things to spend. Alright, so the Dark Elves are in a really tough position. They're squeezed very tightly between these two things. We're probably ready to perform the ritual, right? Yeah, I mean, it's not like I actually care about the marks. We could go get Tor Corali first, and we will. We'll get there eventually, but... Alright, let's let this, let's run one more sequence of enemy turns here. I forgot how long I've been recording. We should really wrap this up. Are they gonna try something here? They're positioning to kind of try something here. And then, you fool, you ran right into the ambush. How do you never learn? Oh, Malice Darkblade has decided that this isn't even a good idea. What a surprise. Alright, well, Ulthuan is ours. I feel very comfortable saying so. I will say I'm a little bit surprised at the, Oh, because I was going to say, that Hearthstone should be pretty mighty, but yeah, it's very fresh. The units aren't built up yet. Okay. That's fine. We'll just take it right back. I don't know how she thinks she's going to survive the consequences of her decisions here. So, like, both of the Dark Elf factions are showing up as being still quite strong, but I don't know where their troops are. I guess it must be a lot of, like, Black Arcs and stuff just, like, in the middle of the ocean. Because they sure don't seem to have the armies to back up the numbers we're seeing there. Or rather, the number of yellow pixels that we are seeing there. No, wait, number of red. You know, the bad ones. The bad pixels. Yeah, we are going to have to actually deal with these Bretonnians at some point as well. And what on earth are you doing? Have you decided that now that it looks like somebody else might burn down Haggrave, all of a sudden you care? So when it comes time to burn down Altdorf, let's talk a little tiny bit about strategy before we end things. Ooh, Frenzy for Kazrak One Eye. I think he might have already had Frenzy. But in any case, good stuff. Yes. So, lots of notifications. Very little of it matters. Let's talk about Altdorf. Where am I relative to... That's it, right? No, here it is. Okay. So, this is the final settlement on our objective list. When we want to go for it, there is this river that comes in from the ocean. If we sail up into the Middle Sea, you can go up the River Reich all the way to Altdorf before it becomes too narrow to travel in it anymore. So we don't necessarily even have to deal with most of the stuff around here. I certainly don't want to like make land and then push east through all of this noise. That's going to take forever. So my point is, we're not really that far off, although geographically we are quite far away from Reichland. It's not going to take us that many turns to get there. That's not the button I wanted, sorry. So we need 20 more successful battles. We need to actually plant our flag at Nagarond and Hexawaddle. They should probably fix the wording on this to clarify that it means you have to have built a herdstone in those places. But yeah, I think actually we're very close indeed. That said, obviously we're not so close that I'm going to try to get it done tonight. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time on Monday, we're going to take the first steps to putting the last steps on this thing. And we'll see you then.